Okay, so what I've done here is that I've been adding more information to this first scene. So what I've done is I've actually gone and replaced my red ball with just a very basic car. You can do better than that. I'm just doing something simple from the start. And I've also added my road. And here we go. I've now got my car going from really small, moving along the path, and going through the scene. So we need a title for our movie. So I'm just going to click on Car Guide, create a new layer over top of everything else, and click on here, Title. And we can simply now use the Type tool, and mine's going to be called Close Call. So I'm going to press Caps Lock and Close Call. And let's press Command A or Control A in the keyboard, and let's modify the type. So you'll see here that I can't modify the type right now. We need to find the settings here. So we go over to Properties, and we should see now static text. Yes, it is static text, and we see the font size and the type of font it is there. So I'm using Futura Condensed Medium right now. I might increase the font size up to 100 pt, point size, and might have the fill then to being, let's say, a white fill, so it's standing out a bit more. Let's bring it up in size a little bit more, shall we? 150. That's better. Okay, so close call, it's just there. Now let's say I want to animate it so that it sort of starts to fade in or what have you. We can do that quite easily as we have done in the past. We go to the keyframe over there, or we can actually go over here, click on close call, the word, and we right click and we convert this to a symbol, and we call this one here scene 1. Get into the habit of naming conventions here for symbols. All right, so this symbol is just for scene 1. It's not reused elsewhere. So I can name it scene 1 and then title. There we go. So it's not a button. It is going to be a graphic element. All right, so let's click on OK. All right, so let's say I want to animate it now. I'm going to right click and I'm going to do classic tween. And I'm going to have it just animating slightly. So I'm going to go from here, let's say at 15 frame, and I'm going to make a F6 and keyframe it. And I'm going to make this come off on the side here. So I can undo that. I can just move it across ever so slightly. And I can also go over here to the frame features. And I'm going to go over to here and go over to alpha. I'm going to make it fade in. So if I press return, I need to go back to my scene here. So I go to return and it comes in nicely there. All right, so let's move on to the other frame now, to the other scene. So we go over to scene 2 and we start creating the same thing. You see here that this is now going to be almost like a cross between a mid shot and maybe a full shot, kind of in between. So this could actually zoom in from being a full shot into maybe even a 2-up as well, where we have zoomed into these people a lot more. Okay, so so you start creating the assets for this. You know how to lay things up. And we just continue on with this. Now I'll go back to scene 1, right? So let's say you want to modify the time here, right? So we know that F6 creates a keyframe. We can also do some cool things as well, being that, let's say we have close call as an out cut. You can do things such as that. So, or J cut. So you can create a new scene in front of this and have that as a title. Have a bit of sound coming with the car in, and then it continues on. Close call is continuous, going across from the black screen to this scene over here. Let's see how this works now. Let's go to control. Let's test our movie. So there we have it. Right, so that was pretty quick, but we just need to go through each one now, and we need to just animate everything else. That'll be all for this one. Thank you. Bye.